Hi, I'm Jeremy, and today I'm going to show you a game by the name of Kribbeln. This is a German version of the game published by Ravensburger. There is no English version that I'm aware of. It does have a Spanish version, I know, called Color Yam, but there are English rules that are posted onto Board Game Geek and probably the website of the publisher as well. And this is a light dice game that takes maybe 20 minutes or so for 2 to 5 players. It's really in the style of a Yahtzee type game, but it has a little bit more strategy than something like that. Let me take a moment to show you how the game plays, and I will come back and let you know what I think about it. So there's practically no setup in a game of Kribbeln, and the best way to start to explain it would be maybe show you one of these sample score sheets that they give with the game. And you can see here that the score sheet is going to be played, the game's going to be played over many rounds, and then each round what you'll do is you'll look at who has the highest score for that round, and then you'll give them points. So the person who finishes first in a given round will get points equal to the number of players. Second will get the points equal to the number of players minus 1. And last, would get 1 point. So it'll just descend based on that. So 4, 3, 2, and 1 point for first, second, third, and fourth in a 4-player game. If ever you get 0 points, you're not able to complete one of these challenges. You're going to get 0 points for that round. And then whoever has the most total points at the end of the game is going to win. So that's like the overview of how the game is going to score. And what you're actually going to be doing each round is pretty simple. Each round, you're going to be presented with a dice challenge. And I should note that the score sheets, as they're set up, have these different dice challenges printed on them each game. So here, the first round, you need 2 blue dice. The second round, or here in the first round, you'll need no yellow dice. Here, the first round, you're going to need no orange dice. So that's going to change every time you play, practically. So there's a lot of variations of those within these score pads. But like I said, in this example here, you need no orange your first round. And really, all that you're going to do is you're going to roll the dice 3 times. Player 1 would just roll. Now they could choose to set aside any of these dice. They might want to set aside, say, this 5, and then they have an orange, so they wouldn't be able to score yet. So they have their second roll, they might roll again, and now they got no orange, so let's say they choose to score. So they would just tally up their score. They have 10, 20, 7. They would write in their score here, and they would be done. Now it would go on to the next player, and they would roll again. And they could choose to score here, but they probably want to re-roll these lower numbers. Let's just say they keep these and re-roll that. And now they would get their score. So 9, 12, 14, 18, 21. So let's just say we're playing with 2 players. This player has 21 versus 27. So this player came in second, they only get 1 point. This player came in first, they would get 2 points. And that would be the round. You'd move on to the next round, and in order to score in this round you need to have 2 pink dice showing on it. So let's say this player rolls, look at they've accomplished it right away. Let's just say they stop, they get 10, 17, 21. And now this player would roll, so they have 1 pink. Let's say they roll again, those 2 pink. Let's just say they really want to gamble. They roll a 3rd time. But let's say they've rolled and busted. So now this is at the end of their 3rd roll. They can't re-roll, and they have 3 pinks, so they won't qualify for this scoring opportunity here, which is to have 2 pink. So what happens is they have a choice. They can either X out and take 0 points for the round, or they could take this total here and put it in this bonus area here, which is called the Kribbeln. The 1, so the one that matches the color of the background, so the pink Kribbeln, because we're in a pink round on the score sheet. So let's say they do that. So this is going to be 9, 10, 11, 14, 18. So they put their 18 down here, and then they would get another attempt to complete this challenge. So let's just say they do this. And again, they're going now back to this challenge here that requires them to get 2 pink. So they accomplish that, they would get an X here. They would get 0 points for this round. This player in first would get 2 points for this round. So now they would go on to this Kribbeln, and you'll notice the score sheet has 4 of those over the course of the game. So there's 1 here, 1 with the yellow section, then 2 down in the blue section. And the way that those work is they don't have any requirements. You're just going to roll all of the 6 dice, and you're going to take your total. So you obviously want to roll high. So let's just say this player does this. So they would have 6, 12, 17, 23, 27. So again, this player here would beat this player who only gets 1 point. And now you would total up, so it would be 6-2. So this player has some coming from behind to do. So the catch with these Kribbeln spaces is, like I said, there's going to be 4 of them over the course of the game. And the catch is the number that you've put here has to be lower than the number that you put here, which has to be lower than the third, and has to be lower than the fourth. So each time you do one of those Kribbeln areas, you have to increase your total. Otherwise, you'll put an X in that spot. And that means that, you know, if you bust on here, you have the option to put it in here. But if it's a higher number than you, or I'm sorry, if it's a lower number than you've already put on your preceding Kribbeln, you don't have that option. You'd have to either X that out or X out the challenge. So that does add some strategy to it. I should just explain some of the other things that you're going to be doing during the course of the rounds. This would mean that you can have 3 colors represented on your dice, any distribution of those. This means you have to have 4 of any given color on your dice. This means you cannot have the same number of yellow as orange dice. This is the same thing with 3 colors, and so on. There are some other variations, of course. Here you cannot have 3 colors of the same dice. Here you have to have more blue dice than pink dice. Here you have to have an equal number of green dice as orange dice, and so on. So basically this is how the game's going to play out. And like I said, you're going to want to have increasing values on your 4 Kribbeln in order to be able to score each of those. And you'll just keep getting points each round based on where you rank. And then whoever has the most points at the end of the game is going to win. Here you can see the players have a tie. In that case, the tie is going to be broken by the player who has the highest Kribbeln total. So this player is 31 for Kribbeln number 4 is higher than this player's 29. And that is pretty much how you're going to be playing Kribbeln. Alright, so that is Kribbeln. And this is, make no bones about it, it is a very light, very family-friendly dice game. The game, I think, it's only takes 20 minutes to play at most, with even with full 5 players, and I think that that's to the game's benefit, because it's not a deep game by any means. It's a game that I think players are going to be at the mercy of their dice luck. You only get 3 rolls for any given challenge that comes up during the game, unless you end up having to put your score in the Kribbeln and then try again. So because of that, there are sometimes, even if you make reasonable decisions, you just don't roll the right colors to complete a given challenge, and that is what it is. But because of the way the game scores, so if you're shut out from a round, you're only losing at most 4 points. It's not like you're totaling up every single die roll that you've had over the course of the game. Because of that, most players are going to bust once during the game somewhere, or have a bad round somewhere during the game, so it tends to even out. I would say that the game works better with more players because of the way that scoring works. Because if you get 0 points and your opponent gets 2 points, they're going to have and you're playing in a 2-player game, they're going to have a significant advantage over you, and they could play a lot more conservatively going forward. Whereas if you're spreading that out versus 5 players, getting 1 point versus 5 points in a round, the risk of losing those 4 points is greater. It presents more of a challenge to complete every challenge and to try and push your luck more. So it does play better with maybe 4 or 5 players than it does with 2 or 3, I would say. And there's not a lot of downtime as opposed to some other dice games, because literally each player is only rolling 3 times. There's not a lot of analysis required. You're just going to look at your dice and see what you need to re-roll almost immediately and roll again. So I think that works in the game's favor. It's one of the shortest, one of the most straightforward dice games. Yeah, at the same time, it does feel like there are actual decisions to be made. You are going to always going to be concerned about what numbers you're writing into those bonus spaces, the Kribbeln spaces. You have no restrictions on them, so there's a temptation to roll just all 6s early on. But if you do that, and you get like a 35 in that first Kribbeln space, you're probably going to have a hard time scoring any of the future ones. So you want to, there's a real pressure luck element there, that you want to not score too high early on, so you're leaving room for yourself later on. So again, it's not deep strategy. It's definitely something that I think players are going to be able to grasp right away. And it's, I think, just a game that encourages you to laugh at other people's bad fortune, which is, you know, what happens with a lot of the best dice games. So it's, I think, not a groundbreaking game by any means, but it is a lot of fun. It is Kribbeln, and those are my thoughts on it. Thanks for watching.